Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Glenn and this is Artwave 27. So I struggled quite a bit trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about in this video. And since I'm drawing a picture of a guy in a mask, it seemed kind of obvious that I would talk about what's going on in the world right now with the whole mask situation, but really don't want to get on that wagon. I'd rather do my own thing, and that seems a little bit obvious, and I think plenty is being said about that subject already, so I'm going to go on to something else. I'm reading a book called Art and Fear. It was suggested to me by another YouTuber on one of his videos, a guy named Jake Parker, who does some amazing drawing videos, so look him up. Maybe I'll put a link in the description. And the video I was watching was called Minimum Viable Story. And it was really quite good about what you need to do, what your minimum amount you need to do as an artist to get moving. He suggested this book called Art and Fear, so I decided to get it and read it. And I got to chapter 1, and then I was getting ready to start chapter 2, and there was a quote at the top, and that quote kind of just floored me because it was like he just looked inside of me and saw exactly what I was thinking about and what I was going through. And the quote is, "Artists don't get down to work until the pain of working is exceeded by the pain of not working." The quote was by a guy named Stephen DeStabler. Artists don't get down to work until the pain of working is exceeded by the pain of not working. And it was so appropriate for me at that moment because I crossed that threshold about 6 months ago. I just couldn't not draw anymore. As much as it was bothering me and hurting me to draw, I just couldn't not draw anymore because the pain of not being creative was exceeding the pain that comes with actually creating. So when I crossed that threshold, that's when I created this YouTube channel to give me incentive to draw and started doing what I'm doing now. And I don't know if other artists out there struggle with that same thing. I don't have a whole lot of artist friends, but I did mention that quote to one or two of them, and they also identified with that, and they were instantly like, wow, yeah, that fits. So I know it's something that's fairly common, possibly. And where the pain comes from in the drawing part of it is sometimes not even just like your own insecurities. It's like your own, am I drawing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I fooling myself into thinking that I'm any good? And so there's like this whole flood of self-doubt that pours in. That's part of the pain. Part of the pain is that you're creating this thing and you might really love it and you might really believe in it, and then you put it out into the world and nobody responds to it. It basically just falls flat, and that hurts because it feels like you when you create something, you kind of like take a piece of yourself and put it on the paper, and then when nobody likes it, then it's like it's tantamount to them not liking you. Sort of isn't, but it feels like that to you as the artist. So there's that pain. For my own self personally, some of the pain comes from about 10 years ago. I came out of an addiction, and when I came out of the addiction, I realized that I had broken my creativity and my drawing, and it actually took me a couple of years before I could even pick up a pencil and draw. At that, it was hard. It was a struggle. It was like the pencil was stabbing into my brain more than drawing on the paper, so it was just really a struggle. So I wouldn't draw, and then my desire to draw would come out, and I would try again, and it was getting better over the years, but it really took me about 6 years before I could actually sit down and draw without it feeling like I was just like pushing against a tide of something that was just trying to hold me back. Slowly but surely, I got to the point where I could draw. It got more comfortable, but I was having problems finding a reason to draw. I wasn't really in a position where I had anybody to show my artwork to. I had a Facebook page that I would put my artwork up on occasion, and people would, get a few likes here and there. It really wasn't enough. As an artist, you really kind of just need an audience. So I kept struggling with it back and forth, and I would go through periods of time where I would draw or not draw, and sometimes it was just hard because you draw these pictures and you stick them in a closet and they just sit there, and it's like, well, then what's the point of being creative if it's just not going anywhere? So then, like I said earlier, the pain of not drawing just grew to the point where I just had to do it one way or the other, and I decided to find a place to put my artwork, and that was YouTube. I thought, okay, I'll draw for YouTube. That would be good. It would be something I can do, and something I've never done before, so it would be a nice little challenge, and I can make the challenge to try to get subscribers, and I'm very challenge oriented, so that was the thing that I decided to go for. And so now this would be my 20th video, and my room is becoming quite full of artwork, and my wife is ecstatic that I'm drawing. She thinks it's great, and I'm finding it quite cool. I'm starting to feel like my old self, and that's really good. So there's healing going on, which I'm really thankful for. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's that quote was just really, really powerful to me, because it really spoke into what I was feeling or where I was going, and that threshold that I crossed a few months back. Now the pain isn't so bad. Now I can draw, and it's not so hurtful. It has its moments. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Thank you.